afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to GameStar TV and our continuing coverage of the ZOWIE GameStar Overwatch League. I'm your host, Crisis, and it has been a fantastic day so far. We've seen two huge quarterfinals. We're on to the third. Our friends Jam Gaming going up against Avant Garde. And we say our friends Jam Gaming because they are part of the early history of Overwatch here in the Oceanic region, supporting the competitive scene with their co-sponsorship of the Jamstar series that took place, and that was the predecessor to the ZOWIE GameStar Overwatch League. So shout out to Jam Gaming, and a special shout out to Pulse, who's just arrived in Twitch chat, to spread a little jam. Well, it is Jam Gaming going up Avant Garde, and Bobby J, you've got the lowdown on the boys from Jam.
Yeah, Jam have had an interesting couple of weeks with some roster changes. Recently picked up RQT from Untitled Spreadsheet, so that is going to be very interesting for everyone to watch today to see how he performs. Also, the keys to victory for Jam. They've been around for quite a while now, so their experience needs to shine through. They should rely on their team synergy if they want to take away this win here in the quarterfinal. Stick to the escort and hybrid maps for that team synergy. Genji is also massively favored now in the meta, which is great because ATAR is one of the best Genjis in Australia and New Zealand. So be on the lookout for ATAR's Genji.
All right, so that's the lowdown on Jam Gaming, and we know that our pro analyst, All G, knows everything there is about Avant Garde. So we'll throw to him now to give us his tips for watching Avant Garde.
Beautiful, thank you, Crisis. Well, as Bobby said, RQT joining the team for Jam Gaming could actually be a weakness if exploited well by Avant Garde. So what they really need to do is put a lot of pressure on him, make him, have to make decisions quickly and with a new synergy that he's not really used to yet. So I feel like the best way that Avant Garde is going to basically try and take out this series, if possible, is they need to fight fire with fire. They need to be aggressive. They can't just sit up and be too defensive because, as Bobby said, ATAR on Genji is going to be just going to look and get those resets, really shred at the moment. So, and they've also got WickT joining as well from Sirius team, who is a really, really good player for them. So I feel like Avant Garde, they're in with the shot. They just need to make sure that they play as much as possible to Jam Gaming's weaknesses, and go out there, have a bit of fun, play aggressively, don't get too locked up in the moment. Have fun and just to see what they can do.
All right, well, we're in the lobby right now with Jam Gaming and the boys from Avant Garde. Just having a quick look right now. They're going through the draw. So we'll have a sneak preview, I guess, of how things are going with the bracket. And let's just make sure that that is updated with the result we've just had with the Woodcucks going through. That means, here we are, get the bracket up on screen for you all, ladies and gentlemen. Jam Gaming versus Avant Garde, they are fighting for a place against the Woodcucks in the semi-finals. So a big match that's coming through. The Woodcucks really on fire. I was a little worried in that previous game, Bobby J, that after the strong performance of Quentium on Dorado, that the Woodcucks might tilt, but they dug deep and came through.
Yeah, they definitely did with TJK, and then we had just Rico going over the top. Like Genji, once again, very heavily favored in this manner. And we saw him just cut sick on the back line of Quentium, so they were unable to handle that pressure. Especially with you've got Genji going on your back line, it's very hard to deal with TJK as well, firing, sharp. They're very good sharp shooters, so you got TJK firing away at your head with McCree.
Just quickly, Bobby, as well, before we go into this next map on Lijiang Tower, and just to touch on the Woodcucks again, we know the Woodcucks are a very, very aggressive team, and they're known as being one of the most offensive, hyper-aggressive teams in the competition. I feel what actually won them that series wasn't their aggressive offense at all. It was actually the defense when they came up to the really, really tight moments. They didn't look very good on Dorado. They really struggled there, and they got outbeaten. And so they got outplayed, and if you could see them on Nubani, they were about to get, in a very, very similar position, but they managed to stop playing so aggressively like they used to and actually form up a really solid defensive line. as Guy was saying, behind Cinderella and just making sure that they don't get picked and letting TJK do the work. So a really good switch up in mentality and play set there by the Woodcucks, I feel, really got them over the line last game. So yeah, here we go into Lijiang Tower at the moment. Looks like we've got Gaimer and EJ ready to go for this cast. You boys there?
Thank you, guys, on the analyst desk. We are indeed. We were waiting for the throw very patiently. And we're in the match and we're going to get going. I just got a couple of quick shout-outs, of course. Everyone in Twitch chat, thank you for tuning in and watching. Shout-out to Zowie, Plantronics, Ronnie Customs, and, of course, GameStar for organising, running, and then this beautiful day of Overwatch Finals. Oceania is best on display here this afternoon, Gaimar, and we've been very close to the action, and it's been pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I just wanted to comment on something. Atar is a troll, surely, because Ana on King of the Hill, I believe he will switch to Genji, and there it is. When you have the best Genji in Australia on someone else on King of the Hill, you start to ask questions, but now Atar is back on the Genji.
Alright, so here we are. We are on the garden, and let's see what happens. Match is underway here. They're all going to fight over the big 5-0 tower in the middle. Whatever you call it. I'll call it the big 5-0 tower. And Doza's at the back pushing through. Doza. Did we end up working out what that poor guy's name was? Doza sounds like Tosser, so I don't want to use that one because I'll probably call him Tosser all game and that'll get me in trouble. The pushes come in though from the boys. Oh, we didn't run through the teams. Gaimar, run us through the team.
On Jam, there's Machello, Jimmy, RQT, Doza, Heels, and Atar. And then on Avant, there's Mimum, KS1, Tung, Brewski, Wackety, and Ari.
Alright, the control point is now contestable. The battle is occurring around it. And coming out on top of that is Avant Garde, and they are the first to capture the point here and start that counter ticking. So that's a fairly even encounter up until the point where they got that. They're now going to push and try and hold the bridge here. Let's see what the boys from Jam Gaming, hashtag spread the jam, and here they come in to try and spread a bit of Avant Garde. And it's on, the ultimate's being popped, the sound barrier's gone down from both teams. And you called it, best Genji in AU, carving it up there, gets a nice double, and they've got a good chance of taking this point, Gaimar.
The question is, will someone kill Tung? And he's just staying alive. And if he kill Atar, as Atar has now died, it does appear that Avant will hold on to the point.
And EJ's got to learn to press the right button when he's talking. You missed the most witty pun in the history of casting then, everybody. Sorry about that, but that's just the way it rolls. The boys from Jam Gaming about to come through the archway here into the garden. Tung has the call, went out, doing a great job as the reverse Genji. And they're going to break left and mix up their strats and look to come across the bridge, I'd say. Gaimar here, mixing it up, the boys from Jam.
Yeah, really nice Toblerone, as some like to call it.
Alright, the ultimates are going off, the kills aren't going in, accompanied with it though. Jim EB picked up one, KS1 gets one back for his team. And they're still battling it out here around this bridge. The control point is being contested. 83% is the count already for Avant Garde. Jam Gaming have really got to pull the thumb out and get this. They've captured the point, so we didn't get the replay of the first quarterfinal when we went 99% for both points on this. But we're at 7% and gaining for Jam Gaming, and they finally take it and get the point, Gaimar.
Yeah, well, you never know. We could still have 100 to 99. The point's not over yet, but here come Avant.
Alright, push coming in. A huge push from Avant. Ultimates are getting popped. Sound barriers on both sides going off. And this great Winston getting pushed in here. KS1 goes down. Tung is still alive and causing mayhem. Shout out to me, Mum. And she's not listening because he's now dead. Tung backs away. And that was a nice hold by Jam Gaming there. 37% on the clock ticking up. Only one ultimate up. That's on the McCree. So he's waiting for the Michelangelo to get a Michelangelo to get his ultimate up as well. They're going to try and combo it up, I have no doubt.
But Tung now has the Dragon Blade, and that could be instrumental. We saw Tung do a lot of work on that Dragon Blade. So he has it. Atar doesn't have the Dragon Blade, so we could see Avant with the Genji advantage at the moment.
All right, Avant moving in now. Winston's first to hit the engagement. They all charge into the point. It's a 64%, 88 point. The ultimates are out. Are they going to get caught? Yes, they get caught. Tung picks up one. Michello gets him though, so Tung's out of there. That was a great play by Michello to shut him down. And then Ahern picks up a nice easy kill at the back. They're contesting the point here. Avant Garde look like going to take this back. RQT's trying to fit into the team, gets pressured as the Lucio, not able to hold it. They've recaptured with a 90% capture now. This will be the last push by the team. 94%, here they come. And a leading with Doza. Doza charges in. They get counter at the bridge. That's enough for them to get in there. They're on the point. It is being contested. We're in overtime. And Gaimar, are they going to hold it out? Peels is in there trying his best. KS1 says, no, get off my point. Oh, shuts him down. And the overtime's going to tick out in favour of Avant Garde.
Yeah, it wasn't quite a 100 to 99, but that was still a very intense point. What I want to note is that Atar has been shut down really a lot. I mean, I'm not sure if the analysts talked about it, but shutting down Atar is a big part of the current meta because, of course, he is Jam's Genji player, and shutting down Genji is naturally a large part of the current meta. But then Tung has been staying alive so well, so I think that maybe Jam just need to change their priorities when it comes to targets and shut down Tung a lot more, because he has been doing a lot of work, and he will continue to play Genji into this night market point. So
I'm starting to love Tung. Tung's great.
Yeah, I mean, challenging Atar for best Genji in AU, really. That's what this game's about.
All right, we're on to the night market now for the second point. Bush is coming through here. They're going to take the courtyard approach and have their first engagement with the Lions of Death staring at them. Some say they're lucky lions. I say Lions of Death. I was proved incorrect. If no one died in the courtyard, lucky lions they are, Gaimar. Point taken now by the team of Avant Garde, and they're in there trying to get this one. They're going to take it. It looks like it is being contested, but a nice early push in, and they've secured the point. Wickedy with a nice kill to clean out the last player.
Yeah, Wackedy's been playing really well on Zarya. A really smart pickup for Avant, as we've seen. He was a key player on Serious team before they disbanded, and now he's doing good work for Avant. And then I think that really Rusky's been doing a lot on that Reaper as well.
And the RQT chat is happening in the Twitch chat. Join in. Rate what you think impact RQT is going to have on the match here today, because he's right in there. And Rusky picking up a double. Huge shout out to Rusky. He's the namesake of one of the actual original founders of Fanstar. Back in 2003 was Rusky. So shout out to namesake Rusky here, giving us flashbacks to early GameStar days. And we're loving it. Courtyard set up for defense again by the boys. Here comes the push now.
Avant have so many ultimates up.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to be an ultimate test in a minute. So no action on the point. They don't need to fight on the point. They're just racking up the damage at the moment. But the boys from Jam look like they're going to secure it.
Yeah, Avant here need to either die or back off, because they really want to regroup as fast as possible, stop Jam getting much. But really, they've got a lot of time. They've already capped 62%, whereas Jam only has 7%, but it looks like they'll be fighting now.
Yep, again, the front courtyard in the garden here, the place is taking place. Night market map of Lee Jong Tower. And the nice push coming in. KS1 getting the damage in. And Tung again picking up a kill, gets his namesake in Genji. And I know he's saying his name wrong, but Jimmy B also getting the kill. How do you say his name, Gaimar? Is it
Jim Ed.
Jim Ed.
Yeah, that's what I say. I don't know whether it's right. I mean, Jim can just shoot me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure Jim could probably just walk up and push me and I'd lose to him in a game of Overwatch, but that's okay. The fire at will has gone out. The engagement has occurred, and they've managed to push them back into their building, in fact. So the eatery is where the action's taking place.
Still, even with those ultimates used, Jam Gaming has the ultimate advantage, so really Avant doesn't have that much to secure this push, and we're starting to get into the point where they really need to be winning the next either 1 or 2 fights, depending on how fast they take their fights. But they don't have that many ultimates.
Built up now, so the point capture now swung in favour of Jam for the first time.
Both Genjis will have Dragon Blades for this fight, though.
Now they've decided they're going to have a fight on the point, and it is on like Donkey Kong with the Winston swinging. We've had Tranquility dropped as well. Wickety's in there doing his best. Damage here, pops his shield. Nice time of shield, not enough to save him though. And another Jam hold on the point. So nicely done, 91% on the clock here. And they're pushed forward. They're going to not even let them get out of their building. And
someone needs to force an overtime if
very
Avant want to take
play.
this.
Say that again, sorry, Goma.
Avant have now got the overtime, but they don't have many players up.
No, they're not going to be able to hold this, I don't think. Mean Mum pushes in. Wickety's trying his best. So Hearn's going to get in here as well. Oh, the ultimate is down though. Good course of three. Okay, if one's backed them up, they are not going down without a fight here on this second point. And it's ultimate sitting. Oh, Lucio pops the sound barrier. That's going to be enough, and it is. Jam Gaming pick up the second map.
Tung got on a millisecond too late. As the round ended, Tung ended up on the point. So unlucky for him. But overall, Jam showing they can play Lijiang Tao too. I mean, that was a pretty dominant performance from them once they captured the point. I believe Avant were on about 63%. Then Jam held for a very long time. So well done to Jam. ATAR doing a lot of work, really. I mean, some very nice plays. ATAR, especially comboed with Machello, doing a lot of work. But then we shouldn't discount the rest of the team. Like Peels has been jumping in, doing his job as well, shooting people on the McCree. But it's the nature of King of the Hill that Wackety and Machello need to be doing a lot of work. Zarya is very effective on King of the Hill. You give the shields out, plus you have a lot of damage. So overall, they need to be doing a lot of work, both in protecting their Genji and shutting down the other.
All right, Control Center is underway here. Just do a quick shout out to my wine drinking buddy, the Rainbow Care Bear, and ZOWIESTAH, who's watching in tonight to join in the finals action on Twitch, and hope you're enjoying the matches. RQT and the boys have pushed in here. Now they're going to defend this point. The impact of RQT, we talked about it, change of team just prior to the finals. He seems to be fitting in quite well.
Yeah, he seems to play as if he's been playing with them the whole time, really. And maybe that's just the nature of him as a high-skill player. I mean, he was on Untitled Spreadsheet, who are the dominant team in the Oceanic region.
Kings of Overwatch.
So really, he's a good player, and that allows him to adapt to new teams relatively well.
All right, Avant Garde coming out of the server room now, hitting the control point. KS1 breaking up the line reasonably effectively. RQT popped his ulti then to get some support to his team members on the point, but they are not successful at this stage. Oh, Machello's in there, backed up by RQT. RQT's down. ATAR on the Genji pushes out, and they've got it. They're going to take it. It got to 38% before they lost it. So game on here. A Goma for this third match.
Yeah, definitely. Avant have really come back in force. I mean, they haven't given up yet. Lijiang Tower, the nature of it is each point is an individual, almost map, just because of the nature of it. Ultimate's fully reset between points, so it's a new map each time, essentially.
And that new map's going off here. Ultimate went down. The fight did take place partially in the server room, but they pushed out back around to the left and keeping them in the corridor. So the Jam corridor is getting a bit of action. Jam are back on the point. They contested it 3/4. It's 38-33 at the moment. This is the closest map we've had between the two. Lucio on Lucio action. Mean Mum versus RQT. RQT has absolutely no support from his team here. He's doing a great job staying alive and busting out the moves on the top of the center point there. He finally goes down as one of his teammates comes in to lend some support. He goes down as well. I think Peel should have held back there and not maybe charged in for a pretty easy pick for the opposition. But we'll wait and see if it has any impact. He's respawned, he's rejoining the team, and 56-44 on the capture point. This is a crucial push, and here they come through the server room for the boys from Jam Gaming. They've gone, the ultimates have gone down. We've got the gravity balls on, sound barriers are on, orbs are up, No one really dies that much except for half of the team from the boys from Jam. There goes another one. And Avant Garde have swung back to a stronghold on this point, Gaimar.
Yeah, I really want to highlight something from Tung. What he did was he jumped down as soon as Wackity's black hole came in. And then what he did was he waited on his Dragon Blade until the Transcendence was over. If he had activated his Transcendence, if he had activated his Dragon Blade while the Transcendence was still up, he wouldn't have been able to do anything because the 300 heals per second is too strong. Him waiting just allowed him to do so much more.
Crucial differences in the match here. It's really decision making at its highest level with these two teams here. Pro esports action on GameStar. The boys from Jam are coming back to this point hard here. Rusky's doing a great job spamming those two pistols. And overtime is on and they're gonna get it. Oh, just stop. Rusky stopped it, not enough to hold it out. Jam Gaming retake the point. We had a 99 into overtime, and this is what we want. This is the action you want to see in quarterfinals. And Gaimar, if this is quarterfinals, God help us what we're going to see in the semis and the final. What a day of Overwatch.
Yeah, I don't think my voice should be able to handle those semis and finals if it's going to continue like this. But luckily, there are additional casters to help us out.
Here comes the push now. Avant Garde want this back. They got it to 99. Tranquility's gone off. They are in ascendance. Jimmy B picks one up. ASR gets another. Oh, a return double kill. Fields and Michelo. The two tanks have gone down. That's going to hurt Jam Gaming. And it leaves poor old Tracer Jim by himself. He loses that one. 96, 99, 97, 99. Hanging on for dear life. RQT, what a pickup. What a player. Holding the game out for his team here. Winston comes in. Peel saves it. 99 all. We are in overtime. This is the final map. This decides it. Oh, it doesn't get any better. Gaimar, take it over. We're in overtime.
Yeah, just continuous fighting. These teams are just looking for this because whichever team loses the fight here, that's the team that'll lose the map. And it does look like Avant have capped it.
And they have. What a game. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the first map is down. And it has gone in favour of Avant Garde. So we're moving on to Kings Row for the second map. We've had a few games on Kings Row already this afternoon, and I think we're going to see some great action. We'll just watch the play of the day here, and it's beautiful Winston action, capitalising on the ultimate combo, and gets a bit of tongue at the end. Lovely.
Yeah, I think both these teams were really evenly matched. As we saw, it was a 2-1 with the last point going into 99 overtime. And I think that really represents what that map was. It was a very even brawl between the two teams. I was very impressed, especially with Tung. He did a lot better than I thought he would. And really, his work that he was doing was amazing, especially with the help of his team. I don't want to discount them. They did a brilliant job as well. But his job of just carving up teams. I believe at some point he even forced Atar off the Genji into the Reaper.
Yeah, no, Atar did switch to Reaper at the end there.
And so if we continue to see this quality, then this next map should be amazing.
And quick shout out to the viewers in Twitch. You are listening to the best analyst in New Zealand. Gaimar here on GameStar this afternoon, helping out with the quarterfinals. And we've got a fan club going there, dude. You should be like charging for signatures and stuff. You'll sign boobs for $1, I'm sure. Man boobs included.
It's hard being in New Zealand, you know. All the fans being overseas, you know how it is.
They'll have to scan it to you. Here we go, on to Kings Road, ladies and gentlemen. And we've seen this map played earlier today with some quite quick early point takes, which have led to some rolling maps. In the pub is usually where it's been held up, and in front of the station. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of holds we get today to start this one off. Lots of access points, as we talked about earlier, Gaimar, for this first defense point.
Yeah. I actually think we'll see pretty much the same with teams just rolling that first point straight away. And this new meta, teams can just take it so much quicker than the Pharah Soldier meta we saw, where soldiers would really be a nuisance to pushing teams. Now the Kree, you kind of have to play on the point, and that allows teams to just overwhelm the defense. But we have seen teams win a number of fights on defense. I believe it was, my mind's failing me now. But one of the teams defended, I think it was 2 or 3 fights on this first point. So it is doable. Avant will have the tough job of defending it first. And I think Tung on Genji is a smart plan. We saw him do so much work. Yes, it means no Kree, but we've seen Rusky on Reaper as well. They both do a
Rusky had a
brilliant
good
job.
game on the defense.
But there is no Reinhardt for the defending team. What that means is they can't just sit there, they have to take the fight to the enemy. And I think that's what they plan to do using that Winston. And it can be a very effective strategy. I mean, we saw it used. If you engage people just at that statue area, you can really just corner them and put them in an uncomfortable position. So that's what I'd like to see, some nice counter engages. And then overall, they should be able to hold it at least for one push or two, you know.
All right, we had the quick troll by Jimmy B there as Widow switches back to the crease for the start of the game. The first encounter is taking place on the left-hand side, defense-wise, of this statue. And they have forced them back out to the double-decker bus there. And the first push has come in and been successfully held. So the boys, excuse me, from Avant Garde there, strong defense, holds off the first push from Jam Gaming. Jam have regrouped, coming back a second time. Peel's bringing up the rear now with the Reinhardt. So we've had a fast change from him for this match. And much better this time. They're holding further back in the point. And Jam are probably going to feel more confident. Here comes the forward push though. They want to fight in front of the pillar. And they don't get the chance to. Peels has pushed through to the point. Pacello's on it as well. They are losing players though, Jam. They probably won't hold this one. We'll wait and see. Oh, Atta comes singing across the map. Doesn't get anyone. Gets himself into safety. Peels drops his ultimate. That might have been enough to get them the point. KS1 last line of defense here, and they've dropped it. So they did a nice job. We talked about it in that first game. If you can buy yourself a minute to a minute and a half on this first point, it can really make a bit of a difference, Skymark.
Yeah, and that's what they've done. They've bought themselves a minute and a half before that point is capped. And that'll be huge in deciding what times the map will be. Especially if, on the flip side, Avant could take that point first. But now we're in the streets phase. We will potentially see either a pub or a bookstore hold. And I think what they really need to do is just wait until they push in and do a nice engage. And that's what we've seen from Avant so far. I mean, we saw Tung on that first fight just cleaning up the enemy team, almost single-handedly with the amount of damage he was outputting.
All right, huge shout out to Rep, who's given me the best laugh of the afternoon. Thanks for that, dude. Much appreciated. And the push coming in now. Jimmy and the boys got the cart rolling. The defense is setting up on the corner of the pub. The Fox and the Bear gets to see a lot of action. It's going to see some more here now. And the orbs are down. The ultimates have occurred. This is going to be devastating if they can pull it off. They don't pull it off, though. No match will follow. Peels gets one. Jimmy, Michello, Rusky gets another as well to balance it back. But not enough. Not enough indeed. It's a team down. So the boys from Avant Garde completely dropped on that push. And Jam Gaming rolling the escorted cart up towards the control point.
Yeah, streets can be really hard to hold, especially if the offensive team has ultimates. And we saw the impact of the offensive Black Hole. But now both teams have ultimates up, and this is where it gets really interesting, because this is the easiest part of the map to defend. So this is where Avant can really show their skill.
Yep.
And on the flip side, this is where Jam can show their skill. Because if they can break this on first fight, they can set a really nice time.
Here they go, Jam Gaming are bringing the payload down towards the S-pen now. And into the final corner before the point. KS1 setting up with the Reinhardt to try and stop that. Does a charge, flips the edge of the payload though. So that nullified his charge there. It has done enough though to push Jam Gaming back out of the tunnel. And they're back out on the streets, regrouping now. Nice bit of defense from Avant Garde there. That's perfect.
Yeah, and that's what I talked about. You can really defend this point quite well. And they still have managed to keep their ultimates up. That's an important part of defending, making sure you're careful with your ultimate usages, only using them when you need to, because when you're coming up against sound barriers and such from the offensive team, you really need some offensive ultimates like Tung's Dragon Blade.
Well, let's see if Tung can get some action in on it here. He's got his ultimate up. The ultimates are going down. The cart's around the corner. Absolute carnage. Didn't quite facilitate it. Tung gets the double that we were talking about. Me Mum picks one up as well. Oh, Avant Garde stepping up with the defense here. And it's great work by them. Good team play. All contributing. Tung got a triple out of that play. And Guymar called it. When tongue's on fire, it's all happening here on the map.
Yeah, but what I also want to know,
Guymar, they're coming in for another push.
Jam have ultimates for this push, like quite a number, so this could be a much more convincing push.
Let's see what they can do. Push is underway. Both sound barriers have been popped. Ficello has pushed forward. They are getting the kills they need. Jimmy B finally got his name right after about a decade of calling him. He's up there pushing as well. It's all down to ASR to 1-on-3. Gets his ass out of there, but not going to be enough. He gets dropped as well. Avant Garde with another hole. But to the benefit of Jam Gaming, they have got that part much further around, which does open up a couple of attack options onto it now. They've got a left and a right attack and even come over the top if they want to, which gives them, you know, good opportunities. We'll wait and see what happens with it. The attack is moving in. 4 minutes and 41 seconds are left on the clock. Plenty of time. They want to set a quick time though. They don't want to have to try and defend a long hold on this one.
Yeah, and I noticed Wackity's now switched to the D.Va, so that gives a lot more defensive options, because that defensive matrix just swallows up projectiles.
Yes,
What they can do is just stop the incoming attacks, and if you use that effectively to counter, for example, the black hole, then it can be really impactful, because it can counter an ultimate all by itself.
Yeah, well, the ultimate advantage definitely going in favour there. Rusty pops in at the last minute, picks up one kill. That could be the catalyst, though, for Jam Gaming to try and roll in. They still get pinned on that corner, though, and don't manage to push round. A couple of vital kills, particularly losing the Reinhardt, slowed them down. RQT's just catching up to them now. Avant Garde have regrouped at the back. The cart's getting rolled in. The high noon goes up. And, oh, they're close. 4 meters. Tranquilities have gone off as well. Their shields up. There's everything's happening. Ultimate ref run shot on Michello, chewing them up here. Rusty's last man to defend. It might not be. Oh, smacked him off with the Reinhardt. Great shot. That's going to be enough, surely, to roll this in. RQT goes down, and they're beep beep. Cut on the point. Objective captured.
Yeah, really nice defending from Avant, though. They delayed for a really nice time. It shouldn't be too hard to beat that time, but again, they do have to push through for Avant to win. You know?
So one of the other people listening probably captured the total time there, and they'll gosh, you're a second. They'll get that. Let us know what the
6:37.
6:37 on the clock. So I think on the reverse one of this we had like 9 minutes. So the sub 3 minutes to try and do this one. I know it's 2 different teams, but it gives you an idea, and it's going to make this first point all the more crucial. If they can get that one for, a good 1.5, 2 minutes, it's going to be pretty much game, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But on the flip side, if Avant can capture that point on their first push, they'll be in a really good state to beat that time.
It's exciting action here in the ZOWIE GameStar Overwatch League Finals, coming to you on GameStar TV 1. We got a huge crew here today. It's EJ and Guymar at the moment. Crisis is producing all day. Shout out to admin extraordinaire Bizer, and the expert analysis panel will be sitting by waiting to bring you a breakdown of this map at the end of the game, and then we'll be handing over to Bobby J and All G, who are going to be taking you through the remaining quarterfinals, semifinals, and of course the grand final. $8,000 worth of prizes on the line. And Guymar, we got to say thanks to ZOWIE for getting behind the Australian Overwatch scene.
Definitely, and I mean, it's the sponsors which really make these sort of prize pools possible, so I'd like to say thanks to them. But what I'm looking forward to is, this is just a quarterfinal, and we're seeing this play. This isn't even a semi, and those semis are going to be mad, like, from what we've already seen.
I actually can't quite fathom how the grand final, the quality we're seeing here, you know, it's just going to be intense, because the team balances have occurred over the last 6 weeks. We had dominant teams in that first 1 or 2 weeks of ZOWIE, and we saw last week when the bounty went off. Chiefs claimed that bounty on Untitled Spreadsheet, and that made today relevant, because anyone can win today. Well, except for the 2 teams that have already been asked out of the competition, they can't win. But of the teams remaining, anyone could win today.
Yeah, definitely. I think also the change in meta's helped, because teams all have to adapt to the meta, not just the better or worse teams. So that kind of levels the playing field a bit, as all the teams have to put in the work now. And with that change in meta, a lot of players have become even stronger. As, for example, if your specialty wasn't Pharah, it was a lot harder to be an effective DPS player. But now with the Genji, and some of the Genji mains are doing a lot better.
All right, Tung's the first to push through. They're going straight through the hotel and around the back left-hand side of the point. We haven't seen that strat all day. We've seen mainly courtyard rushes and high right rushes. So this left-hand rush through the hotel by Tung and the team has worked very effectively for them. Avant Garde fighting for the point now. And Jam Gaming desperate to hold this out. We're down to Machello and Ayatar. It's a 2-on-2, it's a 3-on-1. Oh, they're not going to be able to do it. And there we go.
We talked about the importance of a first push cap, and that's what they just got. They're in such a good position to beat Jam Gaming's time now. But they do have to do the rest of the map. It's not over yet. I mean, if Jam can hold the Streets phase really effectively, we didn't see the best Streets phase hold from Avant. So if they can flip it around and defend Streets like Avant defended the first point, then they can really help out in delaying Avant.
As you said in the first map, the flanking opportunities, and if we see that in this half, they're going to get a good push through. We didn't really see it in that last attack run, so it'll be interesting to see what Avant Garde can do here to get around behind and into the sides of this team. Peels is at the front with the Reinhardt as usual. The truck's coming up to the bookstore, and we're going to see some carnage in front of the pub. As we often do, no one's going to stop him for a schooner on a Friday arvo now.
Both teams are just kind of waiting for the ultimates to be up, but a lot of ultimates up at both I should come.
There we go, and the orbs are down, the gravity ball's on. No one managed to get in there and capitalise. Me Mum was a fraction late popping that then. In fact, it was Tung, I should say. My apologies to Me Mum, he's doing a great job. Oh, Zarya gets cut in half. And then RQT picks up a nice cheap kill at the end. That's the best sort of kill for RQT. Cheap kill RQT they call him. That's on his business card. And if you're lucky enough to sign one for you after the game, you get in a frame, put it on your desk, never know. KS1 though is pushed right through here. Got Jimmy B out of there, and they're going to get the car up towards the corner here in front of the station exit.
That was a really smart move from KS1. He saw an opportunity to take Jimmy out of the game, and he did. And that's those sort of plays create openings, and openings are what matters. But there are only 4 minutes left, so Jam have a tough job ahead.
Jam have a very tough job of getting them. Avant Garde doing a great job as well to get this in here. Tranquility's going off left, right, and centre. And it's time to get going. Machello with a 1, 2, 3, 4. Peels gets a 5th. Oh, Rusky, the only player to escape that one. And I thought Machello was going to get a team down there, and I would have, been pretty excited if he had got that. I'm happy with a 4 kill. Glomar, we haven't seen too many 4 kills this game.
No, it was really nice black hole there. I think that really Jam aren't out of this game yet. I mean, they've still got a lot of ultimates up. They're still a good team. We can't count them out yet, but Avant's still advantage.
That point, as they kept that point from being capped, which I think is quite important as far as spawn locations go. Now they're going to flank around the left-hand side here, or the right-hand side on defense. And here they come around the brewery. And they've been chased out of there though, so it's a very broken attack here at the moment. And what that meant is Wickety in the deep has managed to ninja onto the point. And they've come back, rotated, Peels is there, keeping them off. And another good hold by the boys from Jam.
Yeah, I think really at this point Avant are just trying to build up those ultimates, because it's really hard to make an effective push without them. But now we have the Lucio ult up on Me Mum. We almost have the Dragon Blade up on Tung. We should have that in the next fight. And the combination of those two against Peels and Janeb's ultimates. So whichever team uses them better.
Dozer the Dozer. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting what happens here. Fight's going to take place at the side of the pub. Wickety pushing through quickly there. DVA shields up. KS1's in there as well. That's a really fast roll in there using that Lucio's B2. Dozer pops his tranquility. Tung is slicing and dicing, trying to get some kills. Gets one. Ayatar counters with one of his own. Genji on Genji kill action. And Jimmy B's having a pretty solid game with the McCree. He's got place a couple of times, but every engagement he's getting that 1 or 2 kills he needs.
And every hold that Jam has just flips the advantage that little bit more, as there are now under 2 minutes left for Avant to take it. 1.5 minutes, in fact.
Wow.
And so, really, Avant's running out of time. Jam has done such nice holds on the second checkpoint, and if Avant want to win this map, they're going to have to take this quickly.
I think we're going to be going to a third map in the third quarterfinal. It doesn't get any better, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Overwatch action you want on a Saturday. Zowie GameStar Overwatch action. And big push there by the defense. They're taking risks now. So Peels and the boys coming very aggressively past the cart down the front of the pub. And Avant Garde just regrouping here. They don't have a tank coming through. It's only a few, well, the healers and the DPS are coming in. But it might be enough to get this cart moving. Peels drops back. Let's rip. Me Mum goes down, has a little bit of a holiday on the cart. Peels didn't quite capitalise on his ultimate there to get in and do the smackdown. And KS1's going to get around, try and flank him. Does so, drops his ultimate. And the battle's taking place on the point here. They got 2 people on the cart. No one's defending. They push them right off, but maybe they're aware of the time on the clock, and they realise they can actually get this one up now and just settle down with probably, what, 30 seconds left to cap it? 20. So
Yeah, it's not really much time.
No, third map is incoming.
They have to keep 3 on the card at all
We're
times.
going to Hollywood. Sorry, Bobby J singing earlier got me a bit excited, got me in the mood to sing. Apologies to the listeners. I think my singing is more offensive than my crew's jokes, by the way, Guymar. So, you know, we're lucky we didn't drop 20 listeners then.
Well, I'm not watching the listener count.
The orb has gone down. Doozer pops his ultimate there just to help his team and picks up a kill for his trouble, getting KS1, the Reinhardt. Nicely done.
Avant are out of time.
Yeah, they're out of time. They're still going to play this map out, though. We are going to go to a third map after this one. And that was a really good hold. So Jam Gaming coming in strong here on King's Road.
Yeah, Avant will really want to finish this for the point though, because that'll even it up 3-3. If they don't get the point for finishing, then it won't be 3-3.
Yes. And you never just want to give up a game either. You know, these are finals. It's all about momentum and the strength of your play. KS1 doing a good job up the front here. Ahern just popping up a little kill at the end. And that was another triple. Ahern picking up a double. Nicely done. Tongue with the triple. So the Tongue and Ahern shot. They've rolled this cart through. How close are they? 3 meters. Now they're going to cap it. 1 meter. Wow. Bit of defense by the Jam boys at the end. Diva's ultimate goes off. They don't need it. They've capped the points, but a bit too late. It's locked up at 3-all. We're going to go to a third map. And we are going to Hollywood.
Yeah, just I don't know how Jam did it, to be honest. I was not expecting them to be able to hold for so long, but then this checkpoint here that we're seeing in this play of the game, that's how they did it. Like, look at this play out of Machello.
Yeah, I hope the analysts are watching that one. Machello put their hand up for an MVP nod.
Well, the beauty of that combo there was after Machello dropped the black hole down, Jimmy came through with my most hated skill in the game. He popped the flashbang on all 4 of those champions. So not only were they held in place, but they were stopped from doing anything to defend themselves or put out damage for that split second, and the eliminations just came through as a result. So a fantastic play from Jam Gaming, playing off the back foot. I think, I know that I'm not playing the analyst role here, but one of the things that I've picked up on in their defenses is RQT is an absolute nuisance on the payload. He's constantly there. Nuisance. And the payload doesn't move. If there's one player next to it, it doesn't move forward. And he is excellent at sticking around, staying alive, and stopping the payload from moving.
And Crisis, not just the payload. He did a great job on the control point maps as well, last man standing. He's fitting into this team really well, actually, in this quarterfinal. So we're going to Hollywood. If the teams are ready, we'll get... Oh, hang on, we're just waiting on one. We'll get this map underway very soon. Guymar, Hollywood, take us through. What's the key points?
I think it's a hybrid like King's Row, so we saw both those teams can play hybrid effectively. And once again, I think it will come down to who can take that first point fast. Hollywood's first point, I think, favors the defenders more than Kings Row's first point. So we probably will see a lot more successful defenses at the beginning of the map. But then it gets into the second stage, the street stage, which is very much about who can dominate the high ground. We've seen both teams play effective Winstons and Genjis, who you really need to play that high ground, as well as the Diva we've seen in Wackety. So I think that it'll come down to how quickly they can cap the first point, and then how effectively they take the roofs. Because the last part of the map, generally we see teams push it through eventually. But I think it's those first 2/3 that the teams will really have to be worrying about.
So we got a
All I
word
know,
on what the delay is. We've got Rusky dropping out, and in his place, Avant Garde are going to be substituting Taki.
Wow. Now, I love Taki, but that's a huge thing. Rusky's been one of the strong players for them, so maybe he's not a Hollywood specialist.
I do believe Taki is their captain, but I could be wrong on that. And so him being back in the team will hopefully help them with their coordination. And also, I believe he's a very good hit scan player. So we could see some very strong McCree out of Taki. And McCree's not really something we've seen a lot out of this Avant side.
Yep.
And considering how well they're doing without McCree, who is a strong pick in the current meta, with that McCree, things could turn a whole lot more in their favor.
All right, so as soon as Taki's in, we'll get the match underway. This is the final map of the third quarter final. It's the last for myself and Gaimar, and it's been an excellent afternoon. It's a shame it's coming to an end, Gaimar. We got one map to go. We're killing it.
Yeah, in some ways it's a shame, but I don't know if my voice can take many more close games like this. The hype is just too real. I don't think I could have done another quarterfinal, to be honest.
No, we get the pleasure now of just sitting back with the 120-odd viewers we've got, enjoying the class action and the expert commentary that's going to come your way this afternoon. Bobby J, all G up after this one. And we have Untitled Spreadsheet up against Orbit in the final of the quarterfinals. It's going to be huge. You don't want to miss it any more than you want to miss this map on Hollywood between Jam Gaming and Avant Garde. Well, we got a break in play, though. We can actually thank our sponsors. So huge shout out to Zowie, who put up the monitors that the teams are playing for today. And Crisis, what sort of monitors are they actually playing for?
Oh, well, you can find out by typing in !prizes in Twitch chat. 6 28-inch BenQ monitors, XL 2720Z monitors for the first prize, and 6 BenQ XL 2430T monitors. And we played an ad earlier on, just had a little bit of time in between the first and second matches. There are some really, really nifty features to these monitors, and the focus is on making your esports experience the best that it possibly can be. So have a look at those Zowie monitors. I believe you can pick them up at MWave already, mwave.com.au. So head on over to MWave, who is not a sponsor, but they support esports around the region through multiple channels. So happy to give them a plug. Well, it looks like we are back into the game with the substitution now completed and us heading into Hollywood.
All right, so Taki has joined the battle, and we're going to get this match of Hollywood underway very shortly here. Now, we're going to see the meta play out, the same sort of classes. The Genjis are going to have the influence, as we've been saying all day. But I'm really looking forward again to seeing the tank play. Tank play has been very important today. Both teams very effective with their tanks and crucial to both teams. So, Gaimar, I'm looking forward to tanks on Hollywood. What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward specifically to how Taki plays. I mean, I thought it would be the McCree, but it looks like the Reaper is just their choice in composition. And I mean, that's a fine choice in the current meta. Reaper is, I would consider, one of the 3 viable DPS heroes.
But you've also, Gaimar, got to be hoping Taki's been warming up. To get thrown into the third map, if he's even remotely cold and not got his aim in, that could be, you know, quite a significant bearing on the game. The other guys are all warmed up with the pace of the game.
Well, I can speak to that because Taki is actually on my friends list, and he only just started Overwatch just as he jumped into the custom. But he may have been warming up in something else, we don't know. Because he may have wanted to be playing at all times.
warming up in the hot tub with a beer on a Saturday afternoon, and he was watching Twitch TV on his iPad, tuned into the ZOWIE GameStar Overwatch League. You can watch it anywhere on Twitch, on your phone, on your iPad, in the mountains, in the ocean. We don't mind. Just tune in and watch. Make Crisis a happy man.
We will see Genji from both
Gaimar.
teams.
They're just going to set up and defend the point. That's what we see every time. On Hollywood, no one really pushes forward. If you get dropped, you get rolled.
Yeah, I wanted to see a Torbjorn, but I mean, I'm a dreamer, so we won't see a Torbjorn today, but pretty standard comp. I think we've seen this comp pretty much in every game, on every map, sort of, so.
Play is underway. Gaimar Peels is at the front of the pack here for Jam Gaming as the Reinhardt. And it gets broken up, and they're going to fight them here at the car park, which is the archway, and they're pushing them back down the road towards their spawn. And Genji's just come around from the side. Nicely done by Ayatar there, taking out a Hearn the healer. And that's going to cause the boys from Avant Garde to drop back. They push forward there, and I don't know if that's worth for them. Taki's just traveling back, but he's going to get dropped as soon as he comes out of his little cloak there. And Dozer and the boys are coming and catching this point. It's going to be about halfway. They're going to go the retake. They're coming up the top of the cafe now. Winston gets blocked up there with a quarter to cap. We got 6 players on there, and it is all going in favour of Jam Gaming. Wow, that was a quick push. And I don't know if they should have been that aggressive to start off that defense.
No, I don't think they should have been at all. And coming in for the retake, I think, was also a mistake. Means you can't get set up. And so now we find Avant, a lot of their players on the ground, some still coming from spawns, and you want to be set up so that you can stop Jam from pushing.
Whereas Jam had that advantage, took it, and have moved well into the western scenery here. And they've set up on the roof of the general store, across the overpass. Ayatar's just bouncing around, causing a bit of grief. Tung's there with him though, so it's a bit of Genji on Genji action. And the payload is getting escorted nicely through the map. Michello up into the back line, onto the roof with the Winston, just pushes them off, so they do maintain the high ground here. We're coming round in front of the hotel. KS1 Shield taking a lot of the hit. Taki's there just getting some fire into the Reaper. And there we go, Michello getting a nice kill. The Orb's not coming, Tranquility, coming in just in time by Dozer. And they keep the card up and keep on pushing. And they are actually walking quite convincingly through this map, Gaimar.
Yeah, it talks about the importance of the high ground. And what coming in for that recap on the first point meant was, Avant never set up on the high ground, which meant that they couldn't stop the push very effectively. The high ground's been a part of this map since, I would say, the closed beta teams have been playing up there. And now we see Avant not even get set up. And so they're going to have to push
basic military strategy, dude. If you hold the high ground, you're in a strong spot.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to have a very strong defense on this third point, which is doable. This third point is defendable, but with the amount of ultimates up on the Jam Gaming side, it's going to be a very difficult hold.
All right, so we are in the last section of the third quarter final. It's the first half of the final map, and Jam Gaming doing a great job here bringing this card through. Michello's just getting a bit of grief up the top, now drops down to support it. Avant Garde is setting up outside. They have one player has pushed a little bit forward. The Tranquility's gone off from Ahern, just nice timing on that one. Michello and Peel both at the car, but KS1 and Wickedy are equal to the task. Tung picking up a double. So Tung was a bit quiet in that last game. Gets a double here on defense on Hollywood, and that buys his team at least another 30 seconds, Gaimar.
Ultimate is ready.
Yeah, I saw him nicely duel with, I believe it was Jimmy. But the thing is, Jam only used one ultimate in that fight. As soon as they saw that they weren't going to win the fight, they didn't use any more. And that means they still have 4 ultimates up.
And this could be time to go. Peels is pushing forward on the car. The car's just coming out of the corridor now. Coming up next to the camper man, the trailer of love. Let's see what happens. Michello drops down. He's got his orb on. We've got it all happening here on the inside of the set. And Tung, KS1 both go down to Peels and Jimmy B. Peels picking up a double with the Reinhardt. That's a strong Reinhardt play. We love a strong Reinhardt play, and it's going to be enough for them to move this cart through. No one from Avant Garde is here to stop them at the moment. And they're going to set a pretty good time. Oh, Tongue saves the day. Goimar, what a save by Tongue to get in there.
Yeah, just beautiful. I mean, switching to those delaying heroes like Diva, I would have liked to see a Tracer come out for the earlier spawning heroes just to try and delay it a bit better. But we didn't see that, and now very fast time has been set, 4:42. And that's going to be a very defendable time for Jam.
All right, so I'll just find out from Crisis the winner of this match faces who in the semi-final. They will go on to face the Woodcucks in the semi-final, and either of these teams against Woodcucks will be a great game. But with that quick time of 4:42, Jam have got to be feeling pretty happy in this point of the map.
Yeah, it is the third map, so whoever takes this will take the series, and Jam is up a huge advantage. 4:42, it's on the slower end of fast times, but it is a fast time nonetheless.
Yeah, and
So-
but it is doable. They can do this if they get a good early capture.
Oh, yes, absolutely. If Avant can do the same thing Jam did, steamroll the first 2/3 of the map, then they can definitely beat that time. But if they get held up on that first point, it's going to spell trouble for Avant.
All right, now, if you were Jam, what would you be doing on defense here to try and stop what happened to them on this map, or what they did, I should say, on the start of this map?
I think the key for Jam here is to just try and play consistently. Try and play safe and conservative. The
They should
key
go
to
casual
delay...
play All-Stars and put a Bastion on the elevator, on the lift, and just read out of the community. We're like, wow, what a bunch of noobs. I don't think I'm going to see my fantasy play out, but you never know.
I think playing consistent conservative style is good when you set a fast time like this, because all they have to do is delay. They don't have to necessarily win the biggest number of fights. They don't have to hold the point the entire time. They just have to delay for 5 minutes. And what that means is that they can afford to just, after they lose a fight on the first, get set up for the second. Because it's just about winning at each individual checkpoint, delaying at each part of the map. And then if they do that effectively, the job becomes so much easier for them when it gets to that third point. Overall though, Tongue is on Genji and Atar isn't, so we could see some interesting plays here, because Tongue has the ability to charge up to that Dragon Blade, whereas Atar on the Reaper looking for some Death Blossoms. I think that's partly what I was talking about with the quite conservative style.
Yep.
But can just sit there, output damage. Genji has to get into the backline, expose himself. So a lot more potential for keeping players alive on the Jam lineup, and that's what they need. Whereas at this point, Avant needs some flashy plays out of Tongue if they want to beat this time.
Right, so defense-wise, they set up at the cart. And shout out to Poles and Nathan, who have given their tips. They think Jam are going to take this one out. Flashy play from Tongue was called for. He's been all up in defense, and he's come straight into the back line. And this is great work by Avant Garde here. Mixing it up beautifully as they push in. But the defense is just as good. Heels, RQT and the boys have held this one out. And I thought it was going to be a great move, but it was enough for them to hold them. Great first push defense there by the boys from Jam. That's exactly what they needed. KS1 comes in, long jump into the point, and the shield goes down. Peels does a beautiful charge out of there, cracks the brick wall. Brick wall was broken, smacks out his pump, so the wall got what it was coming to it. He didn't get any players though. That's probably what his teammates would have preferred. But it didn't matter, because the second wave also held out. That's 2, Goimar. 2 waves, 2 holes.
Yeah, and this is where Avant Garde will really start to sweat, because after 2 holes, defensive side is really looking good for a good time, because every hold, as I've said before, increases the chance of side holding out.
Buys you at least 30 seconds. They're going to go for the right back push here. So the whole team's going down the right-hand side, coming around the back of the point now. Genji Tongue has gone up onto the balcony. Michello's gone up to meet him to neutralize that. Here comes KS1 in from the back. Oh, Peels drops his ultimate and picks up a double, gets both healers. Oh, that's a crucial play, getting both healers coming up the back stairs. Great play by Peel. Also throwing his name in the MVP hat with that one. No doubt he'll be discussed by the analysts. And that was actually a really good shutdown of that back push.
And as time ticks down, I believe there's less than 2 minutes left, so this is getting really uncomfortable for Avant. it's now down to 1 minute 30, and that's not really enough time to push the whole map. So really, Avant now is in a really bad position. They need to be capping this point if they even want to be finishing the map at this point.
Alright, here they go. Again, KS1 and Wickedy, Taki, they're all in. It was a 6-man push straight in on the point. There's bullets and electricity and everything's flying everywhere. Ultimates are going off. Taki drops his. They've got it. They might have the point. No, RQT doing his annoying best to hold on to the point. He gets dropped. It's all up the Peels. Jimmy B's there with him. Michello's come to back him up. Oh, and it's been held out again. Oh, the boys from Jam Gaming. Hashtag spread the jam. Wickedy and Mimum trying so hard. Oh, it's a 1-on-1. Jimmy B and Mimum.
But the reinforcements for Jam are coming in.
Can you believe it?
Reinforcements for both teams coming in.
Here come the backup waves now. It's all over though. I think we can safely say Jam Gaming will be going on to the semi-final. Hashtag spread the jam. Avant Garde's going to go down with a fight though. They're going to try and cap this point just for pride. Tranquilities are being popped. It's carnage around the point. Hearns dodging left, right, and centre. Peels is swinging his mallet. Mimum bouncing up and down. Wickedy's just sort of going in a circle, spraying and spraying, and gets the mech snapped out from underneath him, and then dies on the bonnet of a car. Oh, what a travesty. But that's it. I think we've done it. They're going to hold out. So it's going to be Jam Gaming, and a few people picked them at the start of the map. Guymar, a few people were also going for Avant Garde. What a close go. Oh, look at that! Wow, he gets that quad kill with the Reaper. No way it's hard.
Hills was taken all the way to the offensive spawn by KS1, but ultimately KS1 was defeated.
Man, Ayatar was dancing jig on that one. He was happy, man. I reckon that might even come close to play of the day. We'll wait and see. Last push, 30 seconds on the clock here in Hollywood. The boys from Avant Garde haven't managed to take the first point. They've come around the back of the building here. Let's see what they can do. The charge has gone in by Peels. If he cracks his ult, does he have his ult? No, he doesn't have his ult. He's only 59%. I was going to say we'll rinse and repeat from before. But they might just get this with 12 seconds to go, you know. RQT doing his best. He goes down. And 5 seconds. Oh, they're going to be beaten even by the clock from capping this point.
Yeah, just a little too little too late.
KS1's going to get it. Hearns with him. There we go. Good on you, boys. They never give up. So playing for pride now. They can't beat the time set. But they can still complete the map and play for pride. And Avant Garde will never let anybody down on their supporters. They will always give it their all. They've just been outplayed on Hollywood, it would appear, by the boys from Jam.
Yeah, really nice play from Jam. Really nice hold. And that sort of hold shows that even if they had set a worse time, really they would have still had a very good chance of winning the map. And well done to Jam for taking out the series.
KS1 charges in, gets knocked down. Joe Flame is playing in the background. He's not going to get back up again. Ooh, that's a really dated reference by EJ. And head out to anyone who's Twitch chat who's got it. Yeah, good sir. Alright, the card has been stopped. RQT and the boys bouncing around it. Ayatar just pushing forward with the Reaper now to see where they are. Doing a bit of scoping out work. McCree sneaking around the left here. Wickety, Taki coming in. KS1's with him. Michello's above, and Michello's going to drop and cause some Winston action.
Yeah, we're really just waiting for a map to finish off, really.
Yeah, and the map is coming in. Peels is defending beautifully. Oh, Michello jumps forward and just breaks it up. That's been quite one of the patterns we've seen all day here. Is Michello either on the Zarya or on the Winston really getting in and messing up the attacking lines.
Yeah, still just dominant play from Jam. As you see this high ground setup, which I was talking about that Avant didn't set up, is working out really effectively for Jam. And that's the sort of thing you lose if you continue to contest the first point after we have lost it. Because now the side of Avant have to try and get up there if they want to even compete.
And they do just what you say. They come up the lift onto the top of the bank. KS1 wickety laying down some crossfire at the moment, but the shield is up from Peel, absorbing all of it. As the Jets go screaming overhead here on Hollywood, they push across the overpass. Mum's down on the cart, working it around. And they needed that earlier in the day. That was a great play by Avant there. They managed to push Jam right back to the building, bringing the payload round. Those are getting the kills that are needed, backed up by Machello here to stop the rot. And Wickedy does a little runaway move. Gets chased free, crumbled by a Machello ace. All right, they're coming back in. KS1 has popped his ultimate. He's going straight to the car. 5 seconds on the clock. We're into overtime again. I don't know if they can do it 2 overtimes in a row. We'll find out though. Avant Garde got what it takes. Comes in there swinging his little sword left, right and centre trying to get a kill. And doesn't get a kill. Bad luck. Oh, Tongue did get a kill. Go Tongue. Everyone loves the Tongue. But they've been pushed off the card in overtime. It's going to tick down. Jam Gaming, ladies and gentlemen, winners of the third quarterfinal.
Yeah, just there we saw the changes to overtime, how it ticks faster after it's been going
Much
for a while.
Yeah.
It's almost instant now, which is crazy.
Yeah, you basically got to have people on the point or on the payload. Absolutely. All right, the play of the day here. I called it in the play. It is going to be the like a teleport in and press Q attack. And a great effort done by the Reaper there. Picked up a truckload of kills, including KS1 trying to retreat. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have finished the first 3 quarterfinals of the day. Jam Gaming going on to play the Woodcucks in the semi-final. We'll find out who are going to play Chiefs in the next semi-final, which we'll be bringing you very shortly. Guymar, any final words before we throw to the analyst desk?
I'd just like to say well done to Avant. Even though they got taken out in the end, they still won Lijiang. The later maps don't discount their performance there. They were still the dominant team on that capture point. And I'd just like to say to them, keep trying, because you clearly have the potential to do well. It's just Jam wins out with the experience today, and that's what we've seen so far.
Yeah, we'll be having another league coming up towards the end of August, start of September, so they've got a bit of time to practice before they can come and put their skills to the test again. On behalf of Guymar and myself, thank you for listening to the first 3 quarterfinals. We'll throw to the analyst desk, and then we'll be back with the 4th quarterfinal, and then the big ones, semis and grand final. Crisis, over to you and the boys on the analyst desk.
All right, thanks guys for doing the casting. That's EJ and Guymar doing the casting for the first 3 quarterfinals. We're going to be bringing in Bobby J and All G as casters for the remainder of the day. But their first job before they pick up the casting duties, Bobby J, we need you to pick an MVP.
Yeah, the nominee will be going to the draw for the Plantronics Rig 500 HT 7.1 gaming headsets. We have 3 of them up for grabs for all the MVPs at the draw, the end of the final series tonight. And there's plenty of nominees available for that game. That was such an intense game, All G. We saw both of those teams clashing very, very close. So we're going to have a nice discussion here about who's going to get it, because Jim was amazing. He was able to play Zaya and McCree. I was very happy, Crisis, that you picked out that flashbang that he hit. A ton of people set up that. So shout out to you, Crisis, for picking that up. And then we also had Tongue was going huge for Avant. Tongue was massive, but then we saw Atar just showing the same relenting force on the back line with his Genji too. And then RQT just did so well to mesh with the team. We didn't know how he was going to play. We had our doubts, and we were talking about that, like OG, you're talking about that. So it's very hard for me to decide between RQT stepping up and being very nervous the first time you play with a team in a competition is in the quarterfinals. So it's between him and Atar. So I'm gonna let you come in because I'm like crossing between the two. It's very hard for me to chip.
It was very close. Yeah, RQT. The only time he really looked rusty was on the very, very first map on Garden on Lijiang. That was the only time he looked a little bit out of place. But the rest of the series, he played brilliantly. The other person I just want to nominate as well was actually Peels on Reinhardt. It's not often that we end up giving MVP votes to tank players, but I feel like Peels was just so strong in the front line and really, really good at picking up people. And he was always there to support ATAR when he went in as well. So just want to give a shout out to Peels as well. But I think in overall performance, I think ATAR probably would get the MVP, Plantronics MVP vote for me. His Genji was exceptional, but he did also play a very, very strong Reaper, especially on that last point there, and they held it out really, really well. So, yeah, I think it's going to have to be ATAR for me. Bobby, what do you reckon?
Yeah, so I'll go with ATAR as well. Congrats, ATAR. You lived up to that Genji hype that we were talking about before your game started. So big ups for him. So fantastic game, Crisis.
Yeah, huge, and congratulations to ATAR. He'll go into the draw for one of those 3 Plantronics Gaming Rig 500 HD headsets given to us by Plantronics. And a huge shout out, of course, to Plantronics, who have been supporting the MVP program since May, since we started running our own tournaments and looking for a sponsor. They have come in and have supported us with a huge amount of those headsets, and of course they are the official headset supplier of GameStar too. So we've all of the active staff have received from Plantronics one of those Rig 500 HDs. I've got to do my unboxing still, so I've got it sitting here in my studio. I've been so busy with all of the tournaments that we've been having. I haven't had a chance yet to do the unboxing justice, so hopefully we'll be getting that out in the next couple of weeks as we have a break between leagues. Now we are going to head, ladies and gentlemen, into our next match in about 2 minutes, and that is going to be the final quarterfinal of the day. Untitled Spreadsheet, the #1 seed going up against Orbit, and then after that we'll be heading into the semifinals. So stay tuned. We'll be right back here on GameStar TV.